How do you know if you have enough saved for retirement? And how do you know if you're on your way to reaching your retirement savings goal? Well, I've got a lot of information for you. Towards the end of the episode, let me share with you the calculator that I use for a quick and easy assessment of retirement savings. In the last video I put together 15 topics that every pre-retiree should be thinking about before they retire, and I thought it would be a good idea to go through each one individually as a standalone episode. Each one of those topics is rich in content because there is a lot to consider when you retire. Hi, welcome to the Weirdness of Money. My name is Manny Apollonio and I am your host. We talk about the weirdness that people have around their personal finances, and we talk through them so that we can become better managers of our money and better managers of our life. So let's go and dive into today's topic, which is retirement savings assessment. At the end, I will use a calculator available at nerdwallet.com. I am not affiliated with NerdWallet. I just love their tools. I think that if you are on their website though, they're gonna try to probably sell you a credit card or two. Just be aware of that. I'm gonna go straight to NerdWallet's website. If you go to the retirement calculator, you'll see this, and we'll come back to that. But basically what the retirement calculator lets you do is it lets you put in a lot of information based on your variables. So I think it's important for me to define some words for you before we jump in. And as you're filling out this form, you might have questions about, like, what is annual pre-tax income, for example. So I'm going to go through those right now. Annual pre-tax income is pretty simple to calculate. It's basically what you've earned before paying taxes. So if you get paid an hourly wage or a salary, that's the number you want to use before taking out taxes. And if you're self-employed, you're going to calculate this number by taking your gross revenue, subtracting out your business expenses, and then you're left with profit. That's the number I'd like you to use to calculate your annual pre-tax income. So your current retirement savings includes all of your liquid assets. Liquid assets mean not your real estate investments. Everything that you could probably access within a day or two if you needed to. Even assets in your brokerage account, for example, if you place a trade today, you'd probably have access to cash within a day or two. Those are liquid assets. So add up all of those things and we're going to consider that your current savings. The next topic is monthly contribution. Exactly what you think it is. It's the amount that you put into your account or your savings for retirement every month. For your monthly contributions, I'd like you to include your 401k contributions plus any matching from your employer. Also, if you have savings on top of what goes into your retirement account, I want you to add that number to this calculation. So whatever monthly savings you're putting away in addition to your 401k, add that to your monthly contribution amount. Now, some experts say that you should be saving 10 to 15% of your income, and that should be going towards retirement savings. Everybody's a little bit different. Everybody has a little bit of a different life circumstance, and you might be prioritizing paying down debt, but essentially 10 to 15% is what is recommended. Okay, next is monthly budget in retirement. So you're going to want to calculate what it will cost to live your life in retirement. Take the number that you use to live your life today, that monthly number, and somewhere between 70 and 90% of that is what they say you should use. When I'm putting together a financial plan for my clients, I use the number in their current spending plan as their monthly retirement number. Some calculators will reduce that number by 10, 20, 30% because they make the assumption that you're going to have less expenses in retirement. That may be so, but some expenses may be increasing. You might be going on more trips. You might become more generous. Who knows what? So I just keep it at a 100% level compared to what your current spending is pre-retirement. Next up, we have other retirement income, and in this section of the form, you're going to add up Social Security, pension, rental income, and potential income from part-time employment. That is going to go in this section called Other Retirement Income. Next up is retirement age, and for most people, they're going to use 67. Why 67? 67 is the age in which they reach full retirement age according to Social Security, and this is when benefits can be received with no discounting for early withdrawals. That's another topic that we'll talk about in a different video, but essentially 67 is typically used when people plan for retirement. Of course, you can adjust this. You can make it 60, you can make it 55, but know that the changing of your retirement date either shortens or lengthens what we call your time horizon towards retirement. So because that number is so significant, for most planning, we'll just use 67 and then adjust from there. Next up is life expectancy, and you might want to default to something higher than you anticipate. Maybe something like 95 or 100. You know, people are living longer. There are more advances in medical research every year, so aim high. 95 to 100 is pretty conservative, but if you have a history of longevity in your family and you want to be even more conservative, you might consider 105 or 110. The next two are related to your investments and the performance of your portfolios. You're going to want to give a number or an estimate of the rate of return you anticipate pre-retirement and also post-retirement. Most folks will use a more conservative number for the rate of return on their post-retirement side because they are no longer employed, therefore need to take less risk. So those numbers may differ. For example, your post-retirement number might be something like 6%, while your pre-retirement number might be something like 8%. Next up is inflation rate, and for the calculator, 3% is what is assumed. Essentially, it says this, that everything gets a little bit more expensive by 3% every year. This is what we call the eroding effect of inflation. That's why your portfolio needs to make more than 3% in order to keep up with inflation. Next up is annual income increase, and the calculator assumes that you will at least get a 2% raise each year. But if you're averaging something higher than that, use your number. You know you better than I know you, better than this calculator knows you, and you know your earning potential. Of course, be conservative, but if you are confidently making 5% raises each year, then use that number. Okay, so here we are at NerdWallet's website. You're going to want to hit the sandwich at the top left corner. You're going to want to hit investing and retirement over here. And then you're going to scroll down to retirement calculator. Click on that, and it brings you here. It's giving us the example of a 35-year-old who currently makes $60,000 a year with $30,000 in retirement savings, a person who is contributing $500 a month towards retirement, including what they're putting into their 401k and including the match. Next up is monthly budget in retirement, which you can see here is $2,561, and you can also see these other variables here: retirement age, life expectancy, pre-retirement rate of return, post-retirement rate of return, inflation rate, annual income increase. On this right side here, you'll see that the graph view changes accordingly, and also these two numbers at the top, what you'll have and what you'll need. So what this calculator basically is saying that if this person wants to live off of, let's just say $2,500 a month, they need to have saved $1.7 million by age 67. Now, that number might seem huge today compared to where they're starting, but I want you to know that this person is 35 and this calculator is going up to 67. So there is 3 decades worth of time here that will allow for compounding. So that's when your investment earns interest, and then you earn interest on the original investment plus interest, and that just keeps happening. It's like a train, right? Like the train is going and you have to get on it to be on the ride to retirement. Anyway, so going back to the calculator, it says that if this person stays on this current path of saving $500 a month, they'll end up with almost $900,000 in savings. Not bad, but that's still quite a ways away from the 1.7 that they need to retire comfortably. So what does that mean? It means we may need to increase this person's monthly contribution. As you can see, this calculator is very robust, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to drop them in the comment section below. If you'd like a more personalized or customized approach to financial planning, I don't hesitate to encourage you to reach out to a financial planner. I'm so glad I am able to share this free calculator tip with you, and if you liked anything that I talked about today, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe and hit that notifications button. That would be so helpful. I'll see you next time. I'm Manny Apollonio, and I wish you financial wellness and prosperity in all things today and every day. I'll see you next time. Bye.